Okay, so last week we did a collectible resources to refuel fuel, and we did a, let's quickly check what we did. Oh yeah, we had a minimap, health, progress bars, and for some people I did a an alternative health display system where you could show kind of graphics instead of a percentage bar. So you might have 5 hearts like in Zelda, and that one was really simple. It was a hard. Just going into that widget really quickly. So in the graph, I just had a really simple chain of an event tick which checks every single frame whether the player's health was equal to or greater than 0.001, or just we could have just had greater than 0. So if it's greater than 0, draw the first image, which was image 522. Let me just check. Yeah, image 522, the leftmost one. And then if you carry on, you then check, right, is the health greater than 25%? If it's true, it's going to draw the second image, which was 523. Yep, image 523. And it was just a continuing staircasing of, if the health was greater than, draw this image. If it wasn't, if it was false, set visibility to that image to hidden. So each step focus on just hiding or showing one of the images. So that way you could have little hearts, health hearts, whatever you wanted really. It doesn't matter too much. We'll just tuck those out of the way for now. Okay. And the graphic around the minimap, I just used a material for the where was it? So the minimap, I assigned a minimap material to it, and within this, I just downloaded a black and white alpha map of a circle to trim the square into a circle, and then using Z order or Z orders, so Z order here. So this one's set to 0. The one before it was set to 0 as well. Okay, that's bad practice on my part. I should have named them. So this one should be 1. So it's consistently on top. In this case, it's showing on top, but it's more by luck than anything else. So what could happen there is when the player's loading the game, if they're both set to 0, sometimes it will load with the minimap on top of the dragon, other times the dragon will be on top of that, and sometimes, worst case scenario, it will flick back and forth between the two. Okay, so today what we're going to do is set up a pause system, saving and loading. Really straightforward. Right, so the first thing to do, in the level blueprint, we're going to create key bindings. So we're going to use escape key, so escape key, there we go. And I prefer to use release because it kind of gives a degree of tolerance to the user. So if there was a click on a button and then like, that's the wrong button, if they dragged off of it and press something else instead, it's not going to do the event. Alright, so we've got an escape key. We're going to search for set game paused. There it is. And it's a Boolean event, so we want to tick it to set true. And now if I quickly launch my game, not in viewport mode, in standalone, because if we press escape in viewport mode, it's just going to take us out of the play mode. So if we press escape now when I'm jumping, we get a beautiful freeze frame. Let's just close that window. Right, so in that case we can't press escape again to unfreeze it, because at that point all key bindings or key inputs have been turned off. So we need to add an alternative way to unpause the game and allow it to continue checking for events or key inputs. So to do that, we need to create a new widget. So user interface is right click in the content browser, user interface, widget blueprint, and we're going to name this one pause menu. And if we just open it up, we don't need too much in here. We're going to create a text bot, or a text. We'll drag that out, make it nice and big, and we'll call it paused, just so it's really obvious to the player what's happening. We'll increase the size, and if we just set this all to be, we're going to justify the text to be centered, and if we want to, we'll eyeball it for now. So there we go. Yeah, no, there, yeah, there we go. Right. So within this, we then want a button. So we'll drag that out. Text. I'm going to duplicate this a few times, so just copy, paste, and repositioning. So with the object selected, Control C, select the canvas panel, which is the parent of everything, and paste and reposition. I think I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. So I'll do it again, paste and paste. There we go. So one button is going to be responsible for resuming play. We'll have a save button, and I only need 4. I miscounted. 4. Right. So text block. This one will be resume. This one will be save. Quit. Oh no. That one should be load, and quit to menu. Or return to menu. There we go. So compile, and if we select the resume button, we're going to add an on-released event, and we drag this out, and we want to set game state. Nope, set game paused. So we're leaving that unticked this time. And set visibility for self, which will be the entire pause menu, to hidden. Compile and save. So back here, what's I'm thinking about the visibility, we need to select the pause menu in the hierarchy on the left, and under behavior, make sure that we set the default to hidden. So compile and save. So by default, we're going to tell the game that we want to load. So opening level blueprint. In the previous lessons, we drew our main menu to the screen of the viewport. So we're doing the exact same thing this time. So create widget. So the pause menu will always be in existence. So I'll just copy and paste in get player controller, plug that in. We've got to tell it what we wanted to create, the pause menu. Just compile to get rid of the error. From here, we want to create. We want to add to viewport. Hook these two up. Oh, before that, actually, I'm going to delete that. Sorry. I'm going to promote this to a variable and name the variable pause menu ref, just because the next thing I'm going to want to do is toggle the visibility on and off. So we've created a pause menu, we've promoted this to a variable, and now we're going to set the visibility and link these two up to hidden. Do I need that? No, I don't want to set visibility. I'm getting confused. Add to viewport. There we go. Compile, save. Right, and the last thing, just like on the main menu, we want to enable the set mouse cursor. I'm going to do this up here. So press set game paused, and just after it's done that, we want to set visibility. So if we drag out our pause menu reference, get set visibility, we'll link these guys up. Pow. So it's now visible. And set show mouse. Let's turn off context sensitive. Set show mouse cursor to true. Compile and save. And we just need the player controller again for the target. There we go. So we're just telling the engine whose cursor we actually need to show. It's going to be the player who's loading our game. So at this point, the level begins. It spawns our heads-up display, which we did in the last lesson. Adds that to the viewport. It's going to create a pause menu. It's going to promote that to a variable so we can access it later over here. And then it's going to add that to the viewport too. And because we've already set the pause menu to be hidden in the pause menus widget, it isn't going to become visible till I press Q. So let's quickly close and relaunch. Dun 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 dun. Pow. Alright, so if I jump off, there we go. So we've got, aha, and it works. However, the cursor gets left behind. So I just need to go into the pause menu quickly and set visibility to hidden, set show mouse cursor. We're going to leave it unticked this time, and get player controller, just like we did in the level blueprint. I'll test that a bit later, it's not too important. Okay, so we've got a pause menu, but normally when we pause a game, we can't see the game perfectly. We'd have like a kind of a blur effect. So if we just search for blur in the palette, we'll drag that out to the canvas panel, and if we select it, we want to make sure the size is full screen, 1920 by 1080, and if we increase the strength to, I have got it selected, yeah. So if you scroll down, blur strength. So it goes up to 100. It's pretty intense. I think maybe, we'll go with 10. 10 is good enough. The only thing we need to be aware of is it is affected by Z order. So you need to make sure that it's far enough back. If we put it on 0, which is the same as all of the other assets in the pause widget, it's going to blur those. If we set it to -1, it's only going to blur things out behind the widget. So let's quickly play that again. I'm going to change the key, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to change my key binding to, I don't know, I'm going to use something that isn't used yet. So 5, there we go. Just so I can play it in the viewport without having to launch it as a standalone game. Right, no, wrong button. View, start, no, select a viewport. There we go. Alright. So now when I pause a game, everything else behind it is blurred. Excusing that bit because the viewport isn't the same resolution as the game. There we go. So when I resume, it all goes away. Lovely. So now we just need to set up the save and load game. Right. So I'm actually going to end this video here and do save as a separate one.